Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, News Jester. My name is Junior. Today is going to be a first for me, and a first for my channel, because we're going to do a review unboxing of the Jazwares costume Darth Vader, um, the large size. As you may know from my channel, or if you don't know, I'm actually a 1/6 scale collector, mostly 1/12 scale. I'm getting out of the 1/6 because it's kind of getting expensive for me, the hobby. Most of my collection is 1/12 scale. I have started to get into the 1/18 scale, but only for Star Wars, the Star Wars 3.75 vintage collection, but kind of like it's spread out all around recently. But anyway, so this is from Jazwares, and it's a costume. This is the large size. It was originally offered for $1,000, and I saw it in one of my Facebook splashes, and I thought it was a scam because I don't know Jazzware. The only Jazzwares that I know of was the Micro Galaxy Squadron Star Wars. I didn't know they made costumes, so I wasn't sure if it was real or not, because $1,000 for what seemed like a premium quality or more than adequate quality is a really good price. Here's the this whole thing. When I saw it, I didn't know it was gonna come with this suitcase. I saw it in the reviews, but when I was considering originally, I didn't know about it. But as you can see, it's got a big suitcase. It's very high. It's very tall, and it's got the Darth Vader helmet emblem on it. The Star Wars logo is embossed. It's a good carrying case. I wouldn't say that this is a strong suitcase like any normal suitcase there are. I feel this is slightly, it has a slight give. As you can see, I can knock on it, it's giving way to my push. But for the fact that it's included in it, it's amazing. It does have a handle over here if you want to, and it rolls pretty nicely. It even has the Imperial logos on the wheel. That's amazing. And I'm going to tell you this, what some companies have started neglecting is the experience of the unboxing, the experience of opening up something. That's kind of like we grew up on when we're opening up presents during Christmas. This opening, starting from this box, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's premium. Okay, so that's just on the fact that you get the suitcase that you didn't know you were gonna get. Um, let's see. Push to open. Okay, push that one. It releases the keys. You can lock it. I don't know how to. I haven't read it yet. But once you unlocked it, then you can go ahead and open it up. All right, so here it is. Gonna come out. Okay. So that's what is on this side is basically Vader's helmet, shoulder pieces, the shoulder chest piece, and this contains the cape, the boots, or the boot covering, and all that stuff. So I'm going to change angle on the camera as we try to unbox this slowly. And we are going to slowly unpack it carefully. The most dangerous part obviously is the helmet, so we'll start with that. Okay. Now I can put this over here for now. And let's see, this one and this one. I'm really glad. I want to show this to you right now. This is fairly thick plastic. I'm gonna try to bend it. Hopefully I don't break it, but as you can see, it's got a fair strength to it. And there's a tab over here. It's pretty strong. This is the shoulder armor. I'm gonna show the inside as well, so you guys can see the construction. It's got some sort of foam padding over here. This is where the shoulder chest clips onto. As you can see, this is only from the front. The back is open, and it's kind of, it gives, but because of the thickness of the plastic, it's pretty good. All right, so here's the shin armor. Again, the plastic on this one, I don't know why, but for some reason this feels a lot more stiffer than the one on the shin armor, the shin guard. But here's the quality. It has straps in here. Here's the second one, basically the same as the other one. No sharp edges, so that's good. You're not going to get hurt or anything. And less potential for these tips to break. This is the sound box. I'll just show that later. And here is the middle box that Vader has. Very simplistic painting. As you can see, it's bright colors. So if you want to, you could weather this out if you want. The details are there. These aren't really switches here. They don't click on and off. I believe these are actual switches. And here's the back. The only thing that does stand out from the review that Star Wars Theory did is I can see why he feels like this is too soft. This feels like it's not real leather, it's pleather, I think. So it's just basically screwed on in the back. And I feel like if you're going to put this on, be careful or you need help. because it does get frustrating from the video that I saw, but that's how it connects. You can tighten it up using this and then Velcro to actually secure it horizontally. Here's the waist belt box. Well, I'll just do this one first. This is a button over here. This one is not. This is just play. This is just sculpted into the plastic. You have the clip for your lightsaber. This is thinner than I expected, the middle part of the belt buckle. But it's on a Velcro. I didn't realize that. So if you can remove it if you want to. I'm gonna leave it there. The belt, it feels like a cheap belt, like you can get for, I don't know, 10 bucks or something. But it looks leather, and I think it will do the job. Here's the second voice box, or the second belt box. Pretty much exactly the same as the other one. Just notice this one doesn't have the battery cover. That's kind of a shame. It doesn't have the battery cover, but it has the screw. So I've installed the battery. This is just basically the switch for the lights. So here's the chest armor plate that Darth Vader has. Has two buttons. The one on the top turns on the lights. And as you can see, it's playing its own sequence. So it's not like a boring static light. And then this one I didn't realize is a button to turn on the breathing sounds for Vader. And you just press them again to turn off the sound and to turn off the lights. This one, unlike the two belt boxes, actually has an on and off switch in the back. This is the sound box that I thought was the only one we had. You can put this in the back of your belt. It has a clip on it. Or I guess you can hold it in your hand if you want to turn it on. This is similar to the sound that we heard from the chest plate. Second button, if you press it twice, if you press the button the second time, the sound will change to a reversed breathing with longer breaths. Third one is probably the middle ground between the two, but I'm not sure. It almost sounds like the first one. And the fourth push will basically turn it off. So that's it for the armor pieces. Let me take out the actual fabric pieces and let's look at them together. The glove material is thinner than I anticipated. Well, at least one part of the costume fits me, which is basically the glove. Honestly, I wasn't planning on. There's no way I'm gonna wear this. It's just too small for me. I'm too much of a big guy. But the glove fits me pretty good. But it's pretty thin though. Has a little bit of a stretch, the material. Here's the cod piece. This is made of the same material as the gloves. That's why it feels thin. This feels like pleather. Um, it does have a stretch. It's a two-way stretch fabric. It just clips on. If you want to, you can make it longer, bigger if you want. This one, I'm assuming, is the same material that's used throughout the gloves, and this one, it's pleather. It's got some inside it. It feels like one of those exercise foams. And they used a different kind of fabric on this one. Oh, that's because this is the cape and the tunic. That's why. Wow, this is really... This cape is heavy. I have no complaints on the quality of the cape. This thing is double fabric, different kind here and the one on here. It's a nice black. This will go well with my mannequin. The only thing is, it's only attached by Velcro, and they have this protected over here. If you're not going to use it, don't lose this, because you don't want this sticking to the fabric itself and messing it up. The only thing, of course, is this. This is just rubber, and I don't know why they went with this. I think, like, for $700 or $1,000, this should have been a better material, but I don't know what material it will be. This will break easily. I think the guy from Star Wars Theory broke his, and I can see why. I would suggest unhook it, because you can unhook it before you put it on your shoulders and when you're putting it on. Okay. But yeah, this cape is massive. It's weighty. Look at that. Look at how much that thing flows. This cape is beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful piece in the costume. Or probably the most accurate one too. And the tunic is another material. It's not the same material as the one that was done on the cape. I kind of wish they used the same one for the tunic, because this one feels of lesser quality than the tunic. But I don't know, maybe it's more accurate. It's got the flow, but it won't flow as well as the cape itself. So it would have to be 6.6 would be like this high. That's good. So the one thing that I wasn't paying attention to during the two or three reviews about this particular costume was the fact that it's a one-piece material. It would have been nicer if this was a two-piece. Then it would have been easier to fudge, because like I said, the main problem I'm going to have is this distance from the crotch all the way to the neck. I can't fudge that. I can only fudge to give it more height from the leg down. You know what I mean? But this costume does offer a zipper in the crotch area, so if you need to go, you can go. And the back, this is a thinner material, as this is supposed to allow you to breathe a little bit, make it easier for you. The zipper has got these two hooks to make it tighter if you need to. Uh, the color looks good like that. It has a breathing area over here too. The material is exactly the same. They're using the same type of fabric throughout any fabric part of the costume. A two-way stretch leather material. This is the inside of what you'll see in the gloves. Um, so eventually, what I'll say, you know how it is with leather. Eventually, it'll start cracking. And then it's got, you know, the quilting on the inside as well. I mean, did I say how much this was? This was originally um, priced at $1,000. So at at the worst, it's a comparable price to what you would get from rubies. But rubies, um, it's kind of hard to get them right now at $1,000. I think secondhand market you can probably get it, but from when I was looking at it, it was like 1,200 or something like that. So I was already tempted with $1,000 price range on this one when it was first introduced. I just wasn't sure because it's Jazwares, and like I said, I knew them from Micro Galaxy Squadron, not a cosplay company. I'm looking at the stitches, by the way, and I didn't know it was a scam until I started. Oh, it's the bottom of the feet. It's got a Velcro. That's interesting. So you can put your boots in and then just tighten it up. Same with the hands, as you can see. And also, when I started seeing the review, and I was like, "Oh man, it's good. I'm liking how it looks." $1,000, but I just spent over $8,000 on Star Wars Vintage, 3.75. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to get it, but during Thanksgiving, during the Black Friday sale, this thing went. Jazware, Jazwares offered a 30% discount on everything on their stores. I checked on this immediately. It was $700. I bought it. $700 for all this stuff? That's crazy. Including the suitcase. The suitcase alone has to be like $75, 50, 75, which you can use for anything else Star Wars related. You can even use that for your suitcase if you want to, I suppose. You know what I mean? So for $700, I feel like the value is good and is there. $1,000, you're kind of like maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. And for $1,000, I would say this should have been a little bit better. This material, um, but for $700, this is worth it. Now, in this review, I'm not going to be putting this on. That's going to be a second part where I'll be putting it on the mannequin that I have, just to see how it looks. But in this review, you probably noticed I have not actually gone in depth on the helmet. We're going to do that right now because it just so happens I have the Black Series helmet from Hasbro Pulse. Now let's take a look at the Jazwares Darth Vader helmet. This is the one from Hasbro. This is Jazwares. As you can see, I've separated it. I've been trying to put it on. It's kind of difficult. So that's one of the things I would talk about. The difficulty of putting it back on. I was going to talk about this little nub over here, but Hasbro has it as well. Underneath it, you'll notice the tree prong over here. And I just noticed this one, mine is warped over here. That might be the reason why I was having a problem putting it back on, because it's not completely circular. So this is supposed to be on the outside of the socket. I'm referring to this part right here. The finish on the head itself is very similar to the Hasbro one. you'll probably notice that the difference between this nub over here and the one from Hasbro, I don't know which one's accurate. I'm just showing you the differences. This one has this indentation over here. This one's not. It does have it, but less pronounced. The grill work over here is different from the one from Hasbro's. Hasbro's is actually uh, punctured. It's got holes in it. This one is not. It just has the pattern. You'll notice that the lens on the Hasbro is reddish. Well, this one is just dark. It's only halfway through, unlike the Hasbro. And the lens is like that. It's basically a little bit thicker material than the one on the shoulder plate. It's very, very simple. It's got the straps over here. I've loosened the strap over here. But now that I've examined the inside of the helmet, or the head part, or the helmet part here, I could see why it was having a difficulty. I don't know if I want to complain to Jazwares and ask for a replacement. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get a discount for this. Because it was on there, but it's just going to be difficult putting it in, because when you're putting it in the socket, it's going to keep on hitting this and it will keep bending it. That's why it wasn't going in easy. All right, my apologies that this segment is a little bit of a different angle. I've put everything away already. The last part of the review, I forgot to hit record, so it didn't take properly. Um, Up until the point of inspecting the helmet, the review has been pretty good. I think the costume is well made for the price that I paid for it, which is $700. Now, my advice to you guys is, once you get to the helmet, do not separate the top part from the headpiece. You don't need to, honestly. The reason why you're being told to separate it is because you need to adjust the straps here to properly fit the size of your head. There's two adjustments. You guys probably know this if you're a cosplay player. There's two adjustments, one to the side of your head and one to the top. You can easily adjust that um, while keeping it in one piece. And I'll tell you why. Once you've done your adjustment, you don't need to have this in two pieces to put it on. I'll show it to you right now. As you can see, it just fits in no problem. Take it back off again. The reason why I suggest you don't separate it is, if you encountered the same problem that I did, where the connecting socket on the top part of the helmet for mine was deformed and crushed, you might encounter the same problem that I did, where it wasn't sitting flushed with the bottom part that's connected here, which means those three prongs wasn't properly snug, so you can turn it. I don't know how finally it got through, but it finally connected for me after a lot of cutting and drilling holes, and that didn't never work, but it just finally went through. Um, so you don't need to. You don't need to separate it. Don't. Okay. Now, I have said plenty of times that I'm gonna be using this as a one-to-one size replica of a Darth Vader on a mannequin for me, as a for that purpose, and for the price that I paid for it, $700. This is a really good value. I mean, $700 for the costume. I bought the Darth Vader head from Hasbro, which I plan to use for $70, and then I bought the lightsaber for 150, I believe, and then the mannequin was $300. Um, this costume does not come with boots. You have to supply your own boots. For now, I'm gonna be using an old work boots that I have, and for all that, I believe that comes to around $1,200. And that's not bad. And let me ask you this: if you look for a life-size replica of Darth Vader, yes, it will be pre-posed, and the posing might be better than a mannequin would. It will have a nice base. I think Sideshow sells it. I guarantee you it's gonna be more than $3,000. It's probably gonna be like $5,000. And I'm not sure it would be fabric. I think it'll be mostly a statue, a pre-posed life-size statue. And if that's your thing, then go for it. But I can't justify spending $5,000 on one piece. $1,000, I can probably do that, but only because they're iconic characters. This is only going to be the one of two pieces that I have as a life-size statue, that I spent that much money on. The other one that I'm planning on doing is the Superman 1978 Christopher Reeve, and that's actually the my number one goal. This was just a side thought, a side project. So um, I think for the price that I paid for in this costume, it presented me an opportunity to actually do that at a more acceptable price for me. For if as a costume, if you paid $1,000 for this one, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be the value in this one is gonna be 10 to maybe below 9, I think, because of the material of the fabric that was used for the actual costume. It's the use of the pleather that I'm worried about, because I think the more you use it, the more it will degrade quicker. And the straps that was used, it uses the same fabric, which I think it's too flimsy if you want to keep on strapping it in all that stuff, pulling on it and tugging on it. That would cause the frustration. The features that it has, the voice box, the lights, I think it's pretty good. Um, you can get more detailed pieces, more detailed lights, more weathered pieces, but you have to pay a more premium price. You can get better suits, but you have to pay a premium price. I think the best part of this costume, honestly, is the cape. The cape feels really good. It's heavy. It has a nice flow to it. Um, I don't think you can get anything better than that, except for the necklace strap. I think that's kind of crap, to be honest. But then everything else, I would grade it as a B minus. Um, Definitely better than I expected, or better than I could have hoped for. And for the price that I paid for it, it does exactly what I needed to do. I think it will look good on on the mannequin, but I can't guarantee for sure until I put it on the mannequin. So that's it for now. That's it for my review of the Jazzware cosplay costume of Darth Vader. Again, this was on retail for $1,000. They offered it in for two sizes, large and extra large. It's currently out of stock right now. I got it for $700 during the Black Friday sale, so I was really fortunate in that. So it's up to you guys if you think it's worth it or not, if you want to pursue it or not. You know, but that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon on my next reviews. Bye.